United Nations peacekeepers in South Sudan are moving more aggressively to protect civilians caught in the country's four-year civil war. That's after years of criticism for failures that led to the sacking of the mission's military chief last year.
Well, for more on this, we have joining us via Skype from Washington, D.C., African Affairs analyst Steve Paterno. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
This, no doubt, is a welcome development, albeit 4 years after. Do you think, is there a guarantee that these peacekeepers this time will not flee or fail to shoot attackers, as they did previously?
So far, there's no indication that the peacekeeping on the ground is improving. Actually, what is happening on the ground is that the actual war is actually is going down. That's why you don't see any more war. But otherwise, there's no indication that the peacekeeping is improving.
But then it's quite a good step what they are doing. I mean, like she said, even though it's after some time, but then it's a good step. The word there is aggressively this time, so that civilians can be protected.
So far, that's not the case. Actually, it's the opposite. If you can see, the example is the Japanese, for example. Japanese already withdrawn. The reason they withdrew because the peacekeepers say that they were in harm's way. The country actually say that because the UN have no unified mandate for their troops. The rule of engagement depends on individual countries that contribute those troops. So in the case of Japan, they felt that they're in harm's way, so they pulled their troops. Just similar to Kenyan troops. Kenyans, of course, were used as a scapegoat for the failure of peacekeepers. That's why the Kenyan withdrew their troops. So Kenya now find out that the best way they can engage in South Sudan is probably on a basis of bilateral engagement, not through the UN peacekeeping, because that's not been effective since the mandate of the rule of engagement is dependent on each individual country. It's similar to the Chinese. They have a good contingent on the ground. During the war last year, Chinese were bunkered down in the, during the firefight. They could not even rescue their own wounded. They cannot evacuate their own wounded. So that's how bad those peacekeepers are.
Well, the new chief, David Shearer, let's look at him now. How influential or impactful will he be on the peacekeepers?
He's claiming that he's doing more. He gives a couple examples. In places, for example, that he sent troops and the troops are not backing down. I don't think that's the case in those cases. Actually, there seems to be a backlash from the general population. About two weeks ago, the UN rolled their armored vehicles in town. And people were shocked, the general population. They was like, what is happening now in town? The UN are taking over, and then there was rumors that the UN are taking over. So what he's trying to show, that he's showing a force, but there's a backlash to what he's doing.
Steve, are you not being too hard on the UN peacekeepers? I mean, you're using instances like Japan withdrawing, to say that they're not doing quite much. That's one. Then what would that they rather be doing from where you are standing, from your point of view?
The UN is very good in providing food, for example, to the needy. They will be very effective on those areas, delivery of services like food, for example. But as far as the security-wise, I don't think they can do much.
Steve Paterno, African Affairs analyst, would like to thank you for sharing your thoughts with us on the issues in South Sudan. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.